The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Good evening. We'll start again. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ASPCA 100 at Martinsville Motor Speedway. Round 4 coming your way tonight in Season 4 for the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series. And you're going to get to see all 100 laps unfold live here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Hi, I'm Sean Ambrose, and alongside with me in the booth tonight is Dawson Never Say Die Brock. In the director's chair tonight, we have the magnificent Joe Peak in that chair over there, twisted and tweaking the dials for us, and our camera sets, as always, provided by the one and only Dougie Beard. Now, folks, Christian Family Construction Services, new sponsor here for the Bootleg Racing League. They are a complete excavation service company for new homes and additions. You can call them in the Connecticut area, 860-428-5995. Now, Connecticut's not a very big state, so I think they could probably help most any of you there in Connecticut. So remember, their number 860-428-5995. They can help you with a multitude of projects such as land clearing, getting rid of those stumps, drainage systems, septic systems. You need a new cesspool. Those are the guys to call. Now, they are licensed and insured in the state of Connecticut, and they are also Connecticut licensed in septic tank installation. So a good thing to know, Christian Family Construction Services, our sponsor and your person for any excavation services and jobs that you need done around the home there. Now, on to the race this evening. Virginia, folks, is for lovers, and tonight it plays host to the fun-loving racers of the Bootleg Racing League. The Season 4 championship is well underway, and no clear favorite has emerged from the dust yet. Donnie Moore did his best last week to ensure he is a contender by taking a big win at Stafford Motor Speedway. Caution flags, though, were frequent in the first 3 quarters of that race, and we wound up with a 25-lap race to the finish that would settle it. John Hine, Jeff Sharp would fight hard to compete for that podium, and they finished second and third, respectively. Tonight, though, we dig a little bit deeper into history with a trip to this legendary track, a place more commonly identified with, well, something you might find in your desk drawer. Let me bring my partner Dawson Brock in now and let him get you up to speed here at Martinsville.
Well, Sean, Martinsville is a paperclip-shaped half-mile located in Ridgeway, Virginia. It's been around since 1947. It began as a dirt track until 1955 when it became NASCAR's first paved track. It also the only NASCAR track to have asphalt on the straights and concrete in the corners. And that's not all. Another cool feature of the track, winners get to take home a long case clock as a nod to Martinsville's famous furniture industry. Alright, enough talk. Let's take a driver's seat look at Martinsville and ride along in the GSRC SK Modified.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin around Martinsville Speedway in the GSRC SK Modified. Martinsville is a fun little track, better known as a paperclip. Gives these guys a lot of fun hoops to run, and it always puts on a great show. But you're always going to be hunting for that yellow rumble strip down there on the bottom. Braking marker, probably about that Chevy sign on the wall. You can really dive this car in deep. Let it float to the bottom, back onto the gas, all the way out. Aim for that kind of restart zone. Marker on the wall, leave it be. Back down into turn 1. Float in just a little bit, cut it through the middle, and hard onto the gas right about halfway through the corner. Back out, and once again, aiming for that Chevy sign there. Back onto the brakes, taking a more direct route into turn 3 versus floating it in 1 and 2. That's just driver preference. Some guys might do the same on both ends. Back down here again into turn 1. Float in the middle, kind of letting it rotate a little bit better as the run progresses. You don't want to get on the binders too hard or else the car will get real snappy just like that. All it has to do is step out just to unnerve you or ruin your day. Back out to the start-finish line straight, across the line, back down into turn 1. Here we go, floating it through the middle, letting it rotate, bite, back onto the gas, back out of the corner, aiming for the wall, not to hit it. And then back down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time today. Floating through the middle, back onto the gas, out of the corner, across the line, and that is going to complete our track guide around the Martinsville Speedway in the GSRC SK Modified. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
Brian Yazek out there throwing it down and putting it out for us in the GSRC SK Modified. Thank you, Brian. We have caught up with Brian Dean, driver of the number 23 Outlaw SK Modified. And Brian, well, welcome in the booth, and well, welcome to the league. I know you haven't been here long, but you're here tonight at Martinsville. How does the track here feel early?
It feels all right. It gets loose later on in the run, but it's pretty tight. I'm used to the Gen 6s here, so being able to push the throttle down right away feels pretty good.
All right, so Brian, you're in the Midwest Club. That's rather generic. Where are you from, buddy?
I am from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, just between Milwaukee and Green Bay.
Oh, okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. A lot of racing history in the great state of Wisconsin. You do any racing in the real world?
No, I have been, unfortunately, I haven't had the funds to do anything real life.
Well, iRacing, a great outlet, and that certainly brings it to life for you, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I've been sim racing for 15 years now. When NASCAR 2003 come out, and been a fan ever since.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so you've been here for a little bit. What's your impression of the league? What do you think of the guys?
I think these guys are great. I kind of overwhelmed a little bit that they even invited me to race the modifieds.
You know what, Brian? I'm sure you're going to do just fine. Just fine. Now you get 100 laps to manage here at Martinsville tonight. What's your strategy?
Keep her clean. Don't wreck myself or anybody else. And, well, I got to start from the back from missing last week. So hopefully I can make a couple moves.
Well, right now it looks like 13 cars. That's not a whole lot to fight through. You should be in good shape. Keep her in the gray and off those walls, and I think you'll do okay, my friend.
Yeah, if the first 2 races were an indication, passing's going to be real tough here.
All right. Well, that is good stuff, and we appreciate you talking to you. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you again before night's over, man.
I sure hope so. Thank you.
All right. Get back out there, put some more laps in here before we get started.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That was Brian Dean, driver of the number 23 SK Modified, currently unsponsored his car. So somebody hit Brian Dean up and tell him you want to put your name on that car. All right, so Dawson, we talked a little bit about the track, and we got our interview out of the way. Why don't you take a look at the championship points for us here?
Well, so far not too far into this season, but so far we got 2 Shinaskis up on top, Tim in front of Matt just by 1 point. Now a late charger so far, Donnie Moore, big win last week. He's able to move up 2 spots, get himself up into the top 3, just 4 points back, so still very doable. Mike Holloway 7 points, and then we have a 2-way tie for 5th.
Yeah, and Donnie already a winner this evening, actually, in the street stocks. Donnie got himself a win earlier this evening, so it certainly continues to have a little bit of momentum carried over from last week. It was a big win for that ASPCA sponsored SK Modified last week, and Donnie looking to maybe do that again right now. In practice, he is second quick. Not bad. Just only about 5/100ths of a second away from Matt Hoos. So pretty close. In fact, when you look at the times right now, it's pretty close all around. Let's talk about the details of the race just real quick. Now this is round 4 of 11 races this season here in the season 4 championship. We'll call it the fall series. 100 laps tonight, just like every night you see them here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Now we will be inverting the grid. That's one of the things we do here in the Bootleg Racing League. We'll invert the grid based on last week's top 10. There is no scheduled pit stop. You can make it on the tank of fuel that you have. If you do need to pit, you get. If you need that one fast repair that you get, if you come in, it's very important that you don't change tires. You will be penalized if you change tires. They ask if you just keep the car, remain parked. Now, when we talk about inverting the grid, last week again, Donnie Moore was the big winner. We talked about that. Donnie had to go back and start in 10th place. Lucas Stinziano was the 10th place finisher last week, and he stands to start on the pole this evening. Lucas pretty fast in practice actually right now, 3rd on the board, and boy, Lucas starting on the pole. Maybe it's tonight that he gets his first victory ever here in the Bootleg Racing League.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of guys have really great races starting on that pole position. I believe last week, I can't remember who was it. No, it wasn't Donnie Moore. I forgot who. Do you know, Sean?
Oh, see, you're try and tap into my memory? Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. No, that's okay.
Boy.
No,
John Holcomb, I believe. I might be wrong, but I'm going to... Was it?
Maybe it was David Loomis. All right, we'll move on from that. But hey, listen, Dawson, only about 3.5 minutes left here in practice. I got to get a couple things out here. Listen, you want information about the Bootleg Racing League? You can find them at their website, bootlegracingleague.com. They're always taking applications for new drivers in 3 of the different series that they run here on Saturday night. The Street Stocks at 7, the Limited Late Model Series at 8, and of course the Outlaw Modified Series, which is an invitational series, so you've got to work your way up into that. But contact them over there at bootlegracingleague.com or on their Facebook page, Bootleg Racing League. If you just type that in, you'll find them there. If you want to put your name on this series or on one of these races, bootlegracingleague.com/sponsorship is where you want to go for that. Dawson, you've had a chance to see them run around the track for a while, and we're looking at the times here in practice. Who do you like this evening? You got a pick for us?
And there's a lot of guys up here. Everybody's running really decent times. Brian Dean's up, Lucas Stinziano. Mike Holloway just put a great lap time down. But I'm going to pick somebody who's at actually the top of the time charts right now. Matt Hoos, he's had a difficult year so far, just not really getting it done. Just a lot of race problems. I think tonight, maybe great time here in practice. Maybe he can turn it around and get a great finish.
All right. Well, that's not a bad pick. That's not a bad horse to run with. I'll tell you, I look through the field, I look at the times, and I wonder if maybe we've got a couple drivers out there, maybe, I don't know, sandbagging a little bit, not showing their full hand here in practice. I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody like John Holcomb make a run at it. Now, the problem for John is he going to be starting all the way at the back of the pack? He finished last week in 15th, and so that's going to slate him in not such a good starting spot. He's going to have a lot of traffic to work through. The Shinosky brothers, Tim and Matt, not shown much here in practice yet, but again, the practice times are really, really close. Watch for one of them to make their way to the front. Both of those drivers have been really, really solid this evening. Obviously, they're battling those top two at the top of the points. But, the track, at the end, the track might be the big winner here tonight, Dawson. I know you've run some laps around this track, maybe not all of them in a modified, but talk about that line down on the bottom, right there on the yellow curbs. What's it like trying to navigate that as you get through these turns?
Well, it's an interesting one. Obviously, as the race goes on, we'll see a changing track, but I'd expect for most of it that bottom line is going to be where you're going to want to be. It's another one of them tracks that have that one line that everybody wants to be in. So if you're stuck up on that top side, I've seen it. If you watch NASCAR, a lot of times that'll happen. Somebody will get stuck up out on that high side and they'll shuffle 5, 8, 10 spots back, and it's really a killer. So I think the inside line is going to have a huge part on tonight's race. Another thing is, how are you going to pass? How are you going to get around them? That exit is a really big part. I know in NASCAR and other series, you want to be underneath the guy, and as they exit, you want to exit lower and try and beat them down these long straightaways here. So those are going to be your keys for tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of drag racing actually here in the modifieds and a lot of cars. You get a good exit, you get a strong run. Let's go to the grid, though, because practice is over, and we are ready to set the grid for tonight's race, the ASPCA 100 here from Martinsville Speedway. Here we go. Lucas Stinziano, your pole sitter tonight on row 1. David Loomis on the outside, Dawson.
Tim Shinosky and Matt Hoos going to make up row 2 and 3rd and 4th.
All right, row 3 going to go to Matt Shinosky and Jeff Sharp.
Row 4, we have John Hine and Donnie Moore, last week's winner.
Okay, row 5 is going to be Ryan Detzler and the boss, Lowell Jewell, starts 10th today.
Outside the top 10, we have Jeff Kendrick and John Holcomb.
All right, and your last two, Mike Holloway making it in, and Brian Dean. So there you go, 14 cars strong to get us started here at Martinsville this evening under partly cloudy skies, 74 degrees here at the track, 81 degrees on track. The track surface temperature, we've got just a little bit of wind, so wind really not going to be a factor this evening. Kind of cool out for racing, but I still wonder if grip is going to be a premium here this evening. Now, I know they said the street stocks were really, really loose. The street stocks are loose by nature, but this modified a little bit harder to get to break loose. So we'll see. They are running a fixed setup, so everybody running on a level playing field where the car is concerned. We'll see what kind of heat they can put down in this track and what kind of rubber they can get down here over 100 laps. But most importantly, you do have to take care of those tires. You got to watch yourself as we come around out of turn 2 down this backstretch here. I'm sorry, catch up, Sean. There we go. I'm all caught up. We are on the front stretch coming around one last time here. We'll throw the green as soon as we get off the backstretch.
And if you want to take a quick look there, I don't know if you can see it, but the curbing, we're going to have to watch out for that also tonight. You don't want to get your tires up on there. It'll really upset the car.
Matt Hoos getting a little taste of the wall there just before we got started. And here comes the field running through. The pace car is off the track. There goes Lucas Cinciano. We are underway. He is on the hammer here in the ASPCA 100 for Martinsville Speedway. Lucas Cinciano takes it down to 1. David Loomis looks to find an opening to slip in. He's not going to get it. Tim Shinosky pulls just up alongside him. Cinciano gets off clean. He gets out of turn 4 here, and he is going to lead these first the first lap. We're working on lap 2 now. It is Tim Shinosky slides into second. Matt Hoos now up to third. David Loomis still dropping through the field, Dawson.
Yeah, he's been stuck on that high side. He started up in P2, now about to get taken back to 5th spot by Matt Shinosky. Good battle here. Yep.
No, I was just going to say, you called him. Matt Shinosky down there and inside makes contact with Loomis. Loomis is in the wall. Well, that didn't take long, did it?
No.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Loomis... Boy, they're just fighting for that same real estate. It looks like Loomis might have started to drift down the track a little bit. Matt gets in there clean. Boy, just, again, fighting for the same piece of real estate there. Not hard to say one way or the other, but Loomis going to hit that wall really hard. He's got a smoker. He's going to have to get in the pit and take that fast repair here early. He's also got some front end damage as well, as looks like the toe is out on that machine.
And that's tough. You're stuck up there on that high side and you start to get frustrated because you know how slow you are. You got guys coming in, it's like a long train and it just never ends and it gets frustrating, so you try to make holes that really aren't there, and that's just unfortunate for David.
Yeah, it really is, and that's a tough break here early in the going of this race. He gets now going to have to come into the pit here for the back to 5th. He's still trying to get himself into the pit. I don't know if he's confused about where the entry's at, but David, it's right here on your left. Go ahead and go on in and get that thing repaired. He's out there losing time right now. Certainly don't want to lose a lap. If he does, he'll get a chance to get it back at the next caution flag where he'll get a wave by. You can see all that smoke there in the background. The barbecue pit is out, folks. We've got some ribs on, and we should have them ready by the end of the race. All right, Cinciano going to get to start now with Tim Shinosky to his right. Matt Hoos and Matt Shinosky going to start there, 3rd and 4th. Basically, everybody moves up a spot. Your big mover early on was Donnie Moore, who did pick up 3, gets himself into the top 5.
You mentioned how Lucas starting on pole this week is going to be a big thing for him. He might be able to get a top 3 finish. Yeah, it's so far looking good. As long as he can keep his starts down par and he'll be fine.
2 words for Lucas Cinciano. White knuckles. Trust me, that's exactly what he's feeling right now. And it's what he's seeing in front of him. All right, here we go. The pace car is off. Lucas Cinciano really slows up the field and then gets going just off the exit of turn 4. There goes Cinciano down to 1. They're really stacking up behind him there. The Shinosky boys. Matt Hoos all in a fight back there behind Lucas Cinciano as he comes down. Ooh, Shinosky, Tim, getting a piece of the wall there on the entrance to turn 3. Matt Hoos slides up the track just a little bit, almost makes contact with Tim. They avoid it, keep racing hard. Donnie Moore, watch out, he's diving it in there behind Hoos. Good restart here. So far, so good. Okay, contact there between Moore and Tim Shinosky. Jeff Sharp has inserted himself into this battle of 73. There we go. Matt Hoos going to try to take this lead away from Lucas Cinciano, who blinks there for just a moment. Cinciano caught up top. Dawson, exactly what you talked about, was getting a wheel in there. He did it on Cinciano. Cinciano still fighting up top.
Yeah, he's going to keep fighting. It's going to be an uphill battle from here now. He's now in second, now under attack from Donnie Moore. I don't know. It's
Detzler having trouble. He spins back there. Doesn't bring out the caution flag. He's got to get out of the way on track. He does. Back under power. There's the replay there. The 2. Detzler in that purple number 2 SK modified. And it looks like he might have had a little help from John Holcomb. And we got trouble. It's, let's see. Oh, it's Stinziano. Stinziano and who was that? Trying to catch you that. Oh, it was Tim Shinosky. It was Tim Shinosky and Lucas Stinziano watching here on screen. Stinziano there up top. And he's going to make contact there with Tim Shinosky. Nobody else gets caught up in that, fortunately. Tim going to have some front end damage though, and Lucas is going to have some damage as well. Let's try and see what happened here on board with Tim. There's Lucas up top. Ah, that's wheel-to-wheel contact right there. That's a hard hit.
Ugh.
Man, that's a tough break for Stinziano. He really had a good start to this race going, and now it's going to shuffle him all the way to the back. I don't think anybody's lost a lap yet. No, nobody's lost a lap, so there won't be any wave around here. But Matt Hoos has gone to the lead of this race. The Krankenstein Racing driver in that number 21 SK Modified has come up 3 spots. Talk about the guy behind him. Donnie Moore already putting in hard work here this evening at Martinsville. I think he likes this track, Dawson. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say so too. I think Donnie, just about anything in an SK Modified, he seems to be pretty decent at Martinsville. He's putting on great a show now. He's going to be up to a great challenge this time. Starting on that outside, now we've seen a couple guys really struggle with that. This will be a good test.
Yeah, it should be. Now, this restart will be interesting because we've got a couple of new players up here at the front with Hoos and Donnie Moore, and I wonder what kind of shenanigans will be at foot here when they get restarted. Will Donnie try and get the jump, or will he try and settle the field behind him and stack him up a bit like Lucas did on that last restart? About to find out.
Now it looks like Lucas is going to save his quick repair. He doesn't think his car is damaged enough to warrant wasting his card early.
All right, well, the lights have gone dark on the Ford Mustang pace car once again. It pulls off here in turn 3. Got all the way through the turn to get Matt, keeping it very slow, very tight. Donnie trying to get out in front here on the outside, but no. Matt's going to hold him up just a bit. Now he finally gets on the hammer across the line. Down in a 1. Donnie Moore doesn't waste any time. Oh, boy. Oh, we got a big mess. Big mess. The green is still out. Keep going, keep going. Ooh, Donnie Moore gets shoved there from Matt Hoos and able to keep going. Or I'm sorry, Matt Hoos gets shoved from Donnie Moore. He's able to keep going.
We had multiple wrecks there. Jeff Kendrick was spun around and stopped on the track. And some iRacing shenanigans. They're not throwing the yellow.
Yeah, something's going on there. It's got me all flustered and out of shape here, but it's Jeff Sharp slipped into second, and now Matt Shinosky finds himself in third. Here comes Tim Shinosky on the inside there of Donnie Moore. Donnie gonna let him go. Donnie stuck up on the top side. Can't do anything right now. That SK Modified is all out of shape. I think that's John Holcomb coming in, but coming in just down below it is Donnie Moore. Continues his slide back to the field.
Man, we've seen it with many drivers. I mean, I was hoping maybe Donnie would figure out a way to get to that inside line a little bit quicker, but man, it's not working out at all for any of these guys right now.
No, sir, it's really not. A lot of shuffling still going through the field. Brian Dean right now trying to hang on to his spot. He is sitting in 8th in front of Donnie Moore. Lowell Jewell was a lot of shape there just a moment ago. Lowell hanging on to his 9th spot. Let's check that. Let's look at the replay real quick and see how they got all stacked up there down in turns 1 and 2. And Matt Hoos going to be a little slow getting him off the line. And they get stacked up, and it's Donnie Moore gives Hoos a little bit of shove. Hoos is able to hang on to it. Donnie goes to the middle. Car's going scrambling all over the place. The 75 there. He gets spun around, but no caution flag. John Hine able to get back under power and get back in the race, but he's all the way at the back now, sitting in 13th. They remain line astern around the track, though, right now, and your leader, Matt Goose, having a good run here to get us started. Jeff Sharp, though, up to second. He started in 6th, folks. Matt Shinosky and Tim Shinosky right now hold down your... Oh, and now we've got a caution flag. What happened?
Stinziano.
Yep, he spun right in front of Ryan Detzler. Detzler able to get by, but it was a self-spin by Stinziano getting out of turn 4 there. Just lost your grip.
Yeah, I don't know. You mentioned earlier the street stocks are having a little bit of trouble with grip. I wonder if that's now happening here.
Yeah, whatever reasons they may be, it does look a little bit slick out here. Stanziano gets bit by that. Nope. Leaves his mark on the track. It's 2 black stripes all the way around the corner there. There will be no wave bys. Everybody's still on this lead lap. Goose is going to be your leader. It's Jeff Sharp that's now found his way up into 2nd place. And Donnie Moore all the way back to 8th spot, right where he started. Donnie going to have to roll up his sleeves and get back to work here, Dawson.
Yeah, Cinziano going to take his quick repair now, too. I wonder, he did have damage. Maybe that was a secondary cause to that wreck. I'm not sure.
All right, well, we've seen a little run of caution flags here early. It's kind of disrupted the first quarter of this race. Still a lot of racing left to go. Who's this good for? Well, it's good for our leaders. It's good for the tires. Certainly not wearing them out at a rapid pace. You get a chance to rest here a bit before we get restarted. It doesn't really help with the grip, though, does it, Dawson?
No, it doesn't. And I think it's just going to keep getting worse and worse as we go on. Only a quarter of the way into this race so far.
All right, I think the lights will go off on the pace car this time by. Again, everybody's still on the lead lap. Matt Hoos, Jeff Sharp on your front row. Matt Shinosky and Tim Shinosky going to be starting right behind them. The brothers Shinosky find themselves up here in the top 5 again this week. Man, they're having quite an early start to this season. It's been fun to watch. Let's see what Matt Hoos can do with the field here, though, as the pace car going to peel off here. It'll be up to Matt to get him started once again. Hoos going to waiting, and now he goes. He's on the hammer. Jeff Sharp got stuck all the way up top there. Don't know exactly what he was doing, but fell asleep on that start just a bit. It allows Matt Shinosky to power down to the bottom. He's going to bring John Holcomb with him. Holcomb. Oh, there's John Holcomb making his way all the way up to the front of the field here already. Sharp stuck up top. Can't do anything with it right now. Doesn't even have a spot to get in there. Well, now he does in front of Brian Dean. Works his way down. Going to settle in with the rest of the field. Mike Holloway back there is now the one stuck up on the top side. He gets really loose off of turn 2. But Matt Hoos gets away from the field here as we get restarted, Dawson.
Tim Shinosky, he took a really hard blow that restart. I don't know why, but he seemed to drift up right in 3 and 4 and just lost a bunch of positions. Now sits himself in 9th.
And we do have some side-by-side battling just back there. Lowell Jewell battling with Mike Holloway for position. Holloway going to keep it off of turn 4. Lowell does not win this drag race down the straightaway, though. And Holloway going to slip in. That's a position for Holloway. Continues to move up here in the field. Now we've gotten into some racing. Oh, Matt Shinosky clips the wall coming out of turn 4, right behind Matt Hoos, our new leader. Well, he's been our leader for a while, but hasn't always been a leader. Matt Hoos still struggling with that. I'm sorry, Matt. I keep getting my Matts messed up this evening. Matt Shinosky struggling a little bit there with the handling on his modified.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe just with that one brush, maybe he got a little bit into that, keep your eyes focused on that lead car if they tend to drift up. But no, it looks like just a little less grip under his machine right now.
I'm watching the third place car. We've got John Holcomb started at the back of this field. He has managed to get his way up through it. Now, all that work he put in, does he have anything for these leaders here? Not really reeling him in here yet, but still plenty of time to get it done. We've only completed 35 laps here this time by. Still got a ways to go. A lot of cars running all the way up to the wall there coming out of Ford, Dawson. I think that's lack of grip that's starting to hurt them there.
Yeah, you just saw John Holcomb climb the wall just a little bit. He's going to be okay, though.
Man, Matt Shinosky was really, really loose out of turn 2 again. Rear end of that car sliding all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's just you want to get on that gas as quick as you can, and he's just not. You got to roll into it. Not sure what's going on with him.
He did a better job of it that time, but then he gets into the wall again as we were riding on board the Holcomb there. You saw him climb it just a little bit, scuffing off speed. Not something you want to do here at Martinsville.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. Yeah, you just want to get your exits. The exits with these long straightaways are really important. You can gain and lose a lot of time just due to them a little bit.
Holcomb starting to get there. He's right there on the bumper of the chrome horn, almost getting put to the Hardee's machine there of Matt Shinosky. Looking through the field, though, Dawson, not a lot of battles here yet. Everybody kind of stuck in line right now. I think they wanted to get back to some green flag racing here for a little bit. A few too many cautions to get us started, but now we seem to have a good positive run going.
Yeah, and we talked about this before the race. Everybody's practice times were really, really close, just less than about 0.3 split from each other. So they're all right here, and the fact that everybody is in that same line, that bottom line, it's kind of creating this, well, we can't really pass because I'm not that much better than you, and that's what you get with fixed setup racing. But then again, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I really enjoy this. Everybody's got a chance. Everybody's up here running in their own position. It's good racing so far.
Yes, it is, and Matt Shinosky continues to pester Matt Hoos here. John Holcomb really doing a lot of the pestering, though, right now, trying to shake Matt Shinosky in a mistake. Ooh, Shinosky has to back out of it a bit there in the center of the turn. He thought, maybe, our director's saying he may have seen a little netcode contact. That's very, very possible. Looking back, Jeff Sharp now being threatened here by Mike Holloway. Holloway starting to make a strong move here at Jeff Sharp.
Yeah, and even John Holcomb starting to catch up to Shinosky, and Shinosky really doesn't have anywhere to go because Hoos is in his way.
Ooh, and Sharp, you see him there. He gets a really loose, got a piece of the wall. Now Holloway getting another run at him here. Holloway seems to be locked in. He's another guy who's come from the back of the field. Holloway, where did Holloway start? He started in 13th place.
Wow, if it wouldn't be for Holcomb starting in 12th, he would be your big mover. We have a caution.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's Lucas Stinziano again, and boy, he hit it good that time, coming out of turn 2. That car runs up the hill, pushes like a dump truck, they say, and boy, that time it got the better of him. He just drives basically straight into the wall. It rocks him all the way across back the track into that inside retaining barrier, and he hits very, very hard. He's probably going to be in the pit for a while after that one. Tough break for Stinziano there. The good thing is everybody got by clean. So we got a nice green flag run in there. And now we get a caution just about the halfway point of the race. One car suffers terribly from that. It's going to be Lucas Stinziano, and like I said, I don't know if he's going to be able to get that modified back out. I think he took his fast repair already the first time he was in.
Yep.
And the way that car nosed into the wall, that could be the type of damage that you just don't have enough time to recover from. Well, Matt Hoos is your leader still. Been clinging on to that for quite some time. Matt Chinaski and John Holcomb second and third there. Jeff Sharp and Mike Holloway round out your top 5, Dawson. You've seen some pretty good action here in this first half of the race, and boy, the second half of the race is well, it's going to decide our winner. Obviously, you still feeling comfortable with your pick?
Man, you know what I do? He's starting in that number 1 spot. We've seen it on restarts. I think if he was starting in second, you might get a little bit scared, but he still has control of this race, and I think the only way somebody's going to get around him is they're going to have to use that chrome horn. And short track racing, you know, that's always an option. You don't want to do it, but eventually it comes time to where you don't have too many other options.
All right, I've been told it can be used if you give proper warning.
Yes, once, twice. Yeah.
3 times I'm three times I'm coming by. Yeah. All right, here we go. Dawson, the lights are out once again on this pace car. Matt Hoos, Matt Chinaski. It's the front row of Matts here. The green flag is out, and Matt Hoos, well, he sprints away. Matt Chinaski going to slide in behind him. I like that, the welcome mats. Our director's he's rolling tonight. Matt Hoos, though, off to a strong start. Matt Chinaski followed him through here. John Holcomb caught down on the bottom. Jeff Sharp is the car up top there trying to hang on to 4th place. Mike Holloway wants to take it away from him. I think he's going to do it here out of 2. They're scrambling here to get these cars slotted in line. Jeff Sharp still struggling there to find some space. Lowell Jewell does not want to let him by. Nope, Lowell Jewell's going to send him another spot down the order.
Just stuck up there. He had maybe a little bit of a gap, but it would have been probably too close to try and squeeze in. As now we see Tim Chinaski around and Brian Dean just behind him.
Yeah, Jeff just couldn't seem to find a handle on it back there. That's a shame. It's really, really slowed him down. Brian Dean is the car you see stuck down at the bottom near the 23. Dean's going to get it in there and come right up alongside Sharp. And again, Sharp just got no spot to pull into. This train up front continues. Holloway not able to make up any ground here on John Holcomb. Both of those drivers have come through the back of the field this evening. Both having great runs. And currently they are what stands between themselves and Lowell Jewell making his way to the front. Lowell Jewell now up to 5th place. Lowell Jewell picking up positive spots right now. Your leader, though, still Matt Hoos. We've now passed the halfway point of the race, and Hoos has done a good job of hanging on to this thing. Not a lot of attempts to try and pass him. Matt Chinaski still struggling with the handling on his modified. Had a scary moment there again coming out of turn 2. That rear end keeps breaking around on that SK.
Matt has plenty of speed in his car, and we've seen him come up to Hoos and catch him, but there's just little mistakes right now. I think if you can just minimize them, I know ill-handling cars are really hard to work with, but if you can just maybe figure that out, try a different line. I don't know, maybe that bottom line is starting to get heated up, with the dynamic track and all.
Yeah, well, you know what? You've got to be careful. You don't want to try something and then it fail on you, because the chances of you getting, Matt Chinaski really struggling there out of 4. That car climbed the wall twice. John Holcomb does not get a chance to take that position away. Matt able to keep the momentum of his car going, but I'm going to stop using the word struggling. Let's just say he's having a hard time with it tonight. Still able to hold on, though. to this second place spot. You got to wonder how much longer that's going to last.
Yeah, a couple more times and he's going to get right up to his bumper here, as you see, and just a couple more mistakes and he could be getting just underneath him and going to have a chance at a second place spot.
Matt Hoos just, you know what? And Matt Hoos is not loose. That car actually dialed in and stuck to the track right now. Holcomb, back there, just made a charge. He almost put the girl more into Machinowski there. I think John's getting a little tired sitting there in third place.
Well, you can guarantee.
Go ahead.
You can guarantee he can see him struggling with this car, and he can see him loose. And I'll tell you what, there's a car right behind him. You eventually get tired of checking up for a guy who's struggling, and you'll just go and maybe just use that chrome horn. You know, you kind of get tired of seeing it. You want to get around him because you know he's struggling. The last thing you want is for him to make a mistake and then him collect you and then the car behind you, and just not a good situation.
Joe is really on a roll tonight, Dawson. Really on a roll. I think he's going to go do a set at the local Laugh Factory when we get done this evening. Man, Shinowski just climbed the wall again. That was out of turn 2. And how he keeps hanging on to this second spot is just beyond me right now. He's been fortunate not to actually just loop the car totally. Starting to move up the track though and out of that hardcore bottom line. Maybe try and get better runs off the turns, but it doesn't seem to be working. John Holcomb still putting an immense amount of pressure here on Machinowski.
Man, the entire top 5, you could just see they all kind of came right together there. We have just a nice little sandwich. Not much room between all these cars. John Holcomb, Mike Holloway making a little bit of contact there even.
Yeah. These two going at it. I think it's going to come down. It's going to come down to the last lap, right? It's just, nobody wants to do anything until the last lap. Everybody trying to be very careful. You know who's someone we haven't talked about in a while? That's Tim Shinowski. Tim, ever since he got shuffled back, has not been able to make up any ground. He's languishing back there in 6th place right now. Tim was up here fighting for a podium position early in this race and got shuffled back on one of those restarts and just has not been able to recover from it. Not finding any help from Lowell Jewell. Lowell's made it pretty impossible for him to get through there.
Yeah, I got to make that car as wide as the track. Lowell's done a great job of that. You know, you talk about Shinowski. Look right behind him, Brian Dean. He was up there at a time too. How about Donnie Moore? He started second on a restart and got shuffled back. Now sits in 8th spot. Even Jeff Sharp just behind Donnie Moore.
Oh, here we go. Up front, Matt Shinowski makes the move there on Matt Hoos. He just shot it in there. Oh, and Tim Shinowski's around back off of turn 2. He got out of the way. Oh, boy. Here we go. Matt Hoos going to try and cross him over here out of 4. Matt Shinowski hangs on to the lead. Matt Hoos back to 2nd. John Holcomb still in the same spot. Saying to himself, what happened? How did I not get in on that? Wow, what a move by Matt Shinowski. And then Matt Hoos tried to take it back from him and failed. Now Holcomb's gonna... he thought about going for it. And then Matt shuts the door on him. My, oh my. We're going to get the replay here on Tim Shinowski spinning off of, turn 2. To see him here get through the start-finish line, down into turn 1, everything fine. Oh, and he had to check up there behind Jewell, and that's where it all went wrong for him. I think maybe a little bit of contact from behind helped that. But he spins off in front of everyone. It does not trigger the caution flag. Matt Shinowski starting to try and pull away here a bit. It's Matt Hoos left to deal with John Holcomb knocking at his back door.
Tim Shinowski actually retired there. It looked like when on the replay he maybe clipped that cone. Did he get? I didn't see damage. I'll take a look at that.
Well, I mean, he should have still had a fast repair there available to him.
Yeah, I think he slid through the exit of pit road, and you would get a penalty for that. He might have got the penalty and called it a day.
Yeah, might have. Oh, battle back here for third. John Holcomb out of shape, and now almost out of third place because here comes Mike Holloway up alongside. Holloway digging here down the back straight. Doesn't quite win a drag race. Now he's ahead of him. Not clear, but he is ahead of him. Out of 4. Mike Holloway going to move to third position. Finally pulls off the pass.
Well done. He able to make it work on the high side, too. That's impressive.
Yeah. So maybe somebody else will try and make a move on the high side here at this point. How about Matt Shinowski, though? Is in the lead. He took it like taking candy from a baby there. Matt Hoos. Just, not many times you've seen Matt Hoos get overtaken here in the Bootleg Racing League. Matt Shinowski pulls it off, and boy, that might be the last pass of the race. I don't know. We'll see here. This has been a great run. It's been exciting.
Well, I mean, obviously that pass for Shinowski, that was important because it gave him the lead, but it was also important because now if we get another caution, he gets to start in first place, and we've seen guys struggle in that second spot, so big in more than just one way.
Yeah, now remember, Matt Shinowski was struggling with the handling on that car, and that's not to say, maybe he'll struggle again. Matt Hoos taking another look at him. Matt trying to get that car inside, does not do it. Shinowski with enough grunt left in his SK to keep it up there in front. All right, down back into turn 1. It's Holloway there in third, still trying to hold off John Holcomb. Still some decent battles here on track. David Loomis has not given up on maybe trying to get one better. Jeff Sharp just in front of him. Ooh. Loomis sliding that car through the turn. That's not going to help David.
It's not going to help David. It's not going to help his rear tires either. You can see they laid a couple of marks there during the turn.
We've had several cars go behind the wall here in just the past few laps. Jeff Kendrick and John Hine have both taken their cars behind the wall, along with Tim Shinowski. So, here we go. 18 laps left in this race. Oh, boy, Matt Hoos in big trouble coming out of turn 2. Hoos climbs the wall. Here comes Holloway. I was going to tell you it's time to boogie, but I think you know it's time to boogie, and Matt Hoos better get boogieing because here comes Mike Holloway. Matt really having trouble with the handle on his machine right now, and this is looking like opportunity for Mike Holloway. Matt Shinowski not even looking in his mirror at this point. He's clear. He's got clean track in front of him and clean track behind him right now. Matt in a commanding lead, just about 0.7 of a second ahead.
You mentioned this last week. You said how the cars, you don't really notice it, but they really act a lot different in that clean air. And, we've seen that with Matt. He's able to pull out almost a 0.7 lead just due to that clean air. It's a huge deal for these SK Modifieds.
Yeah, they seem to be really struggling with that tonight, indeed. I'll tell you what, this race, ever since that last caution flag, we've been green, and it just seemed to have gone away really quick here, Dawson. Hard to believe we were in the closing laps of this race. Oh, I see David Loomis in the back making a move, trying to pick up a position from Jeff Sharp. He does. Sharp's going to fight back. That's your battle on track right now. Sharp trying to fight back here. Loomis still down on the inside. They're still battling there out of turn 4.
Sharp had to check up there. If he would have stuck in it, would have hit that wall.
Well, Loomis going to get that spot officially. Slides down in front of Sharp. Sharp going to keep fighting back at him though. Up front, it's unchanged. It's still Matt Shinowski. It's still Matt Hoos and Mike Holloway. Holloway did all that work there to get to third. I just don't see the speed in that car, though, to get to Matt Hoos, and then even more challenging trying to get around him. I just don't see it happening here at this point. And right now, Holloway got to be hoping for a caution flag where he could start on the inside. I just, boy, I don't know if we've got anybody. Don't know if we've got any battling hard enough here to bring out a caution. Detzler going to try and pick up another position and get himself by Jeff Sharp now. Boy, and Sharp just doesn't seem to have it tonight, Dawson.
Ooh, Detzler going to get loose.
Yeah.
Just in front of Sharp. Yeah, there you go. I was about to say, Jeff, you're struggling this week, but that's okay. That 10th spot, that'll be pole next week, and maybe you can turn it around, but no.
Oh, Hoos is in the spot where he needs to be. He has pulled himself right up there on Matt Chinaski. And he's really pressing there. He's got a wheel in. Has he got a wheel in? Going into one. He does. Matt Hoos on the inside. Matt Chinaski stuck up top. Matt Hoos still trying to pull this off. Wow. Here we go. Matt Hoos going to be your leader. The Hoos is loose at Martinsville, bringing Mike Holloway along with him. Holloway now into this battle. The door is open down there for Holloway if he wants to stick it in there. Matt Chinaski stuck up on the outside, can't do anything about it. Chinaski still digging hard up there. Just needs a good exit off of one of these turns. Look at him, he's right there with him. They are perfectly lined up, going through the turn, side by side. Matt Chinaski with great momentum off of turn 4. He's going to pull ahead, and he's back to the lead. 4 now. Matt Hoos charging back down below. 5 laps to go.
And the rest of the pack now is starting to stack up as it looks like. Hoos, we got contact!
Yeah, Matt Hoos makes contact with Matt Chinaski. Chinaski runs all the way up to the track and keeps it out of the wall. Matt Hoos regains his composure. Now here comes Holloway. Oh no, Matt Chinaski in a horrible spot. He is stuck up top now. John Holcomb is there. Look at Mike Holloway now. Holloway in second, but Chinaski looks to take it back from him. Chinaski with another good bit of power there off of turn 4. Slides the tires a little bit, but he hangs on to it. He's still in second. Matt Hoos hanging on to first. Holloway still trying to get this second position away from Matt Chinaski. Not happening. Chinaski not taking anything from him.
Holcomb goes.
Oh, Holcomb sliding. Everybody's sliding behind him. Jeez, look at those 4 cars all stacked up back there.
Wow, we got racing everywhere.
Lowell Jewell makes contact with John Holcomb. All right, let's go back to the lead. We're going to have white flag this time by Matt Hoos is going to take it here in the ASPCA 100. The white flag is out. Hoos comes across the line, your leader. Here comes Matt Chinaski in second. One last chance. Mike Holloway back there in third. Does he have anything here to get to the front? I don't think so. Matt Hoos has just got to keep it clean here through one last turn. Oh boy, Chinaski takes a stab at it, but nothing. Matt Hoos going to come across your winner here in the ASPCA 100 for Martinsville Speedway. Matt Chinaski in second, and Mike Holloway hangs on to third. Wow, Dawson, that was quite a finish.
Wow, I thought Hoos was done, but he was able to make it happen there at the end. Wow.
Yeah, wow. Boy, what a race indeed. Folks, that's 100 laps at Martinsville, and boy, that was over in no time at all, even with the caution flags. Listen, we're going to take a quick break because we need it, and we'll be back in just a moment here on the Global Sim Racing channel with the Bootleg Racing League, and we'll give you the results and talk to a few of these drivers about the run they had here. We're back in a moment. Well, the ASPCA 100 is in the books. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing channel and the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series here in the Bootleg Racing League. 100 laps at Martinsville, 100 very entertaining laps at Martinsville this evening. Let's see how they wound up. Well, Matt Hoos wound up being the one on top. It was tentative at best there in the closing laps. Matt Shinoski had that spot. Matt took it away. Matt Shinoski took it back. Matt Hoos took it back away, and then Matt Hoos wins. So Shinoski, second place for him. Mike Holloway with a big run tonight. He came up 10 spots all the way from the back of the field. He'll finish on the podium there in third. John Holcomb, man, he almost got all the way to the front tonight. Fourth place for him. Fifth place going to go to Brian Dean. Donnie Moore there in sixth. Lowell Jewell with a seventh place run tonight. David Loomis, after starting up front there, he's going to finish eighth. Jeff Sharp, ninth. 10th place, Brian Detzler. Detzler will be your pole sitter next week. So, good job there, Ryan. Yeah, the last four here, Jeff Kendrick, John Hine, Tim Shinoski, Lucas Stinziano, our pole sitter this evening, only able to complete 45 laps. He had his share of troubles. Tough break there for Lucas, but we've got a very excited Matt Hoos. Let's get down to victory lane with Matt Hoos. Matt, that was quite a victory lap, sir.
Thank you. My double reverse lap.
Well, buddy, that was a pretty good fight there with Shinoski at the end, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that had to be one of the most fun races I've had in a long time. That's what me and him were talking about before we came over here.
Yeah, you two, you two were having a little bit of fun, and you spent a lot of time there at the front. What happened there at the end? Was it just that mistake that really just allowed him to get by you?
Well, the earlier incident with Donnie and I, when I jumped the curb, it messed my steering up. And so later in the race, my tires started going away. I think probably a little faster than the rest of them. But then I just had to back it off, let tires cool down, so I was able to race Shinoski again.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, listen. You know what? Not a bad deal. You get a big win here at Michigan, and we're still early in this championship fight. How do you like your chances heading on to the rest of the season?
We'll see. Just trying to finish top 5 every week. That's the key to winning a championship around here. I started off in a hole, though. I missed the first week, so I'm trying to dig out of that. But before I forget, got Corrigan oil on this week. So if you're in the Michigan area, they have gas oil, race gas, propane. Also, shout out to the Frankenstein boys.
Yes, sir. I mentioned that the Frankenstein driver here, Matt Hoos, and Matt, another victory here in the league, and you've been one of those guys that have been around since the very, very early days of the Bootleg Racing League. Winning though never gets old, does it?
No, it's always what we strive for, but it has been a while since at least won a SK race. And Martinsville has not been one of my best tracks in the history, so I'm just glad to win one here finally.
Yeah, and we're glad to be here to witness it with you, Matt. Listen, congratulations and good luck with your 10th place start next week.
Yeah, thank you. And quick congrats to Shinoski for hanging on to that when I got into him there like 5 laps ago. That was just a lot of fun. Good racing to him and the other guys too. Good race all around tonight.
Yes, it was, Matt. Certainly one of the better ones we've seen in Martinsville in quite some time. Hey, thanks again. We'll see you next week, my friend.
Yep, see you, Sean.
All right, that was Matt Hoos. I'm going to let you give commiserations and salutations here to Matt Shinoski there, Dawson.
Well, Matt just came up short. You lost to another Matt, so that's I don't know if that's better or not for you, but second place is a rough track. What were you thinking there at the end?
Oh, I was disappointed in myself that I let it get away. I had it, but let it get away. But Matt's a great racer, and he deserved the win.
Well, he shares a great name, I guess you could say, too. Look, we saw he was kind of struggling with his car, and then you started struggling with your car. Were you guys getting less grip on the track, or what was going on with the cars?
Definitely. It seems to be the case at most tracks with these cars. As you get further into a run, they get looser and looser, and you have less grip on exiting the corner. So it was just very tough trying to get a run off the corner.
Well, even with that difficulty, you didn't back down to the challenge. Most guys, we've seen them throughout the race, the start of the race, guys like Donnie Moore, they got up on that high side and they were just stuck and they got shuffled all the way back. But it seemed like there at the end when Hoos got onto the inside of you, you were able to battle for 4 or 5 laps. How were you making that happen? Was there anything you were doing different?
You know what? I'm not sure, because I was one of those guys at the beginning of the race too. I got shuffled a little bit back, and I guess the outside line was working better at the end of the race than it was at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe that dynamic track. I'm not sure. iRacing, we see it works in weird ways. We saw the caution flag that probably should have came out but never did, and that whole mess. But you ended up getting second place tonight. It was a great run. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the guys at Bootleg Racing League. It's a great group of guys. It's a great league. ASPCA sponsoring tonight's race, and that's about it.
All right. Well, next week we get to travel. Let's see, where are we going to? The Bull Ring. Yeah, what are you thinking about that track?
Oh man, I think it might be the first time we raced there. I think it's the first time I've raced there anyways. I took the summer off, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never been there. Don't know what to expect. It should be fun.
All right, that's Matt Shinas. Oh, Sean, you want to say something?
I was just gonna tell Matt, get busy, get some practice in, buddy. These boys are a little bit ahead of you. They did run there once actually when the track first came out. So yeah, you missed it.
I'll have to get practicing then, Sean.
Yeah, all right, buddy.
Thanks,
Sounds
guys.
Good. All right, Dawson. Great interview there with him, and now we've picked up Mike Holloway. Holloway with a strong run this evening. Mike, boy, you were the hardest working man on the track. It seems like you came all the way from the back of the field, and you finished on the podium. Congratulations.
Well, thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. There's a reason this is my favorite track, so.
Yeah, and I mean, what prevents you in the end there from getting all the way to the front? Was there just nothing left in the car?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the closer you get to the front, the harder they are to catch and pass. So I think the two in front of me, seemed like, at least looking at lap times, I was pretty even with them, but it just wasn't enough to actually reel them in.
Yeah, and tell you what, where do you think you made up your spots on the track this evening? Because we didn't see a whole lot of passing until the very, very end. How did you make it work tonight?
I really think it was just patience. You just got to kind of wait and sit there and wait for holes to open up. And, a lot of guys have a tendency here to overdrive a lot. So a lot of times if you get behind them, you can usually just kind of wait there and they'll have a little bobble or something, and that's your perfect opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you what, next week we are heading out to the Bull Ring in Vegas. Trying to remember, did you get to run that one this summer when we were there?
I'm not sure I don't think I ran it last season with the league, but I have run there before.
Okay, so you got a little bit of track time in there. What do you think about that track and how it sets up for these SK Modifieds?
Well, after the good run I had tonight, I really honestly wish I could say I was excited about next week, but I just don't think I am right now.
All right, we'll take it a day at a time, and then we'll check your pulse
right.
next week when we get to Vegas. So, all right, man. Well, hey, any sponsor shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go tonight?
Mostly just got to thank Quick Lane and Lowell and Matt for putting this on for us, and I also need to thank the ASPCA for coming on to sponsor this race. They do a lot of good work, so it was really cool of them to come here and help us out.
All right, and yes, we are big fans of the ASPCA, and boy, I know they like to tell everyone to make sure you have your pets spayed and neutered. And listen, Mike, we will see you next week in Vegas.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
All right, Dawson, that is Mike Holloway, big third place finish for him. Any final thoughts from you, Dawson?
Wow, Martinsville, it was a great race. I hope everyone enjoyed. Drivers, listen up. I've went 2 for 2 on my picks. I don't know if it's a little bit of a roll going here, but if you're interested, contact me. Highest bid, highest money award. I'll give you my blessing next week, so I'll keep in touch.
We're shilling for picks now. All right, I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, be careful what you ask for, Mr. Brock. You just very well may get it. All right. Well, listen, that was a lot of fun tonight. Thanks, Dawson. I want to thank the Bootleg Racing League and the Christian Family Construction Services for allowing us to cover them and this great race this evening, the ASPCA 100 from Martinsville Speedway. For more information about the Bootleg Racing League, you can find them first at their website, bootlegracingleague.com. Great website. Go on over there, check them out. They would certainly love to have you as a member. There's plenty of information there about how to do it. You know what? You can also go to Facebook. Just type in Bootleg Racing League, all one word. You can find them there. We also want to thank the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen now and that we use on our broadcast every time. The original music that you always hear here on these broadcasts is thanks to the great Erica Colm and Casey Lalonde. You can also look there on the screen for how to contact each of them if you'd like some music from one of their websites. Check it out. I encourage it. See the screen now for information about all GSRC events. Go to globalsimracingchannel.com or find us on social media, Twitter at GSR Channel, and we're also on Facebook. You can go over there and type in Global Sim Racing Channel. You'll find us there. We also have upcoming races for other series listed on the screen now. You can check those out, mark them down on your calendar. You can also stay right here on YouTube and go to our official channel, Global Sim Racing Channel, a tremendous archive of races and a list of races coming up here in your near future. Now, next week, the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series heads across the country to the Bull Ring at Las Vegas for another 100 laps of open wheel-to-wheel action. Catch us starting at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. But tonight, for Dougie Beard, Joe Peak, and Dawson Never Say Die Brock, I'm Sean Ambrose, turning the lights off and putting the lock on the gate one more time. Race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.